stream while you're still streaming of the last like whatever, however long.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like a
It
like
just
if you
sounds
do
like it'll
something
take up.
really if you do something really wicked, it's not a it doesn't capture it. It's just like it's a playing on your stream type thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it'd take up a lot more of your CPU or GPU.
Yeah, probably. Probably. There we go. Alright. Now we're recording. Yay! Thus it begins. One for all. Vote for and play five. Oh, it's the Valorant mode where you're all the same character on the same team.
Uh,
That'd be crazy. Be awful too. Like almost have to get a damage character. Hmm. Well, since it seems that Jeff is not gonna hop in here, I'm gonna stop playing League for right now because I'm just not feeling it. Not feeling the League. Hmm. What are you playing?
Rocket League.
Heard.
Just doing training.
I will probably not come join you. Not really feeling the Rocket League game either right now.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. I always just like to hop in training every day and just.
Yeah, just spend some time there. Training.
Yeah.
That's what training's for. Hmm. Let's see. I'm really looking forward to when Predecessor comes out. Cause like, I like MOBAs. I like the concept of MOBAs now. I shouldn't say I like MOBAs. I've barely played them, but I like the concept of MOBAs. I've watched a lot of MOBAs, and I really like what the game is built around. I just am not a huge fan of the whole move your screen around with your cursor, click on spaces to go there type of thing, right?
Oh, it's like that.
That no, that's what League is like. The whole
Oh,
concept of Predecessor is it's an FPS or it's a TPS, so it's third person. But it's over the shoulder third person, not like 90 degrees up omniscient third person. So it's very much about visual lanes, not about this omniscient overhead point. Like you actually have to and you actually physically have to aim at things to hit them. So it's not just like a click on a spot and he auto attacks that spot. It's like a aim at a spot and he'll shoot that spot or whatever. Um, so it's gonna be very interesting. I feel like it's a game that you could enjoy if you're not into MOBAs, in terms of who the audience is for it, kind of. But it's also very much still a MOBA. Like it's all based in like the itemization and the proper leveling and the knowing your abilities and how to level them and all that stuff, the laning, all of that. Like it's all still there. So proper MOBA. It's just kind of closer to first person. But I'm just having a hard time playing League a little bit because it's just so unimmersive. You know, like
what?
I said, I'm having a hard time playing League because it's just so unimmersive.
Oh,
Like it's just so like you're so somebody else. You're controlling a character. You're not really like that person. I don't know.
I don't know how people can play those kind of games.
I get it, but it's a mind-based game. Like the whole concept is, it's not like yeah, there is like physical skills required, like these. Oh, there we go. Didn't want to come out. Um, there are like physical skills you have to learn to be able to play the game and shit, so on and so forth. But like the game itself is structured around choices, not around um the gameplay itself. You know, because like there's all these minions that push the lanes themselves, and they automatically spawn, and no one controls them. They just do their own thing, and it's like the whole game is really based around like controlling those minions, not fighting the other person. So it's like it's just like complicated chess, you know, team complicated chess is what it is. It's not really a video game in the way that every other video game is, where it's like, you know, you're a thing and you do something. It's like you're an omniscient human being who's playing a video game. That's your role. But that's why I like the concept of predecessor. It's much more like, you know, you are that person. What you see is what you're looking at, not like there is a map still, and it still shows shit, and there's still wards just like in League, but like you have to physically look at things to see them a lot of the time. I think that's a lot more immersive. Hmm. Hmm. I'll play Rainbow on the test server. So I'm gonna do.
What?
I'm gonna play some Rainbow on the test server.
What is that?
Test server? It's a test server, just like every other game. It's like the new season's coming out soon, so they got the new season on the test server,
Oh.
and like so you can just play the new season. But it's a different server, so like while your overall Ubisoft account is still there, it's you don't have like they give you all the operators so that you can test them all out and shit, but like you don't have any of your skins or any of that kind of stuff
Sure.
or your charms. And now your loadouts are different, so you gotta change them when you get in there every time because they all swap themselves back like assholes. Um, God damn it! I keep fat fingering the fucking three. Oh my god.
I gotta run to the gas station. I'll be back in a little bit.
All right,
I
this
gotta
is
go get a trout stamp before I go fishing.
nice.
I'm not fishing for trout, but you have to have a trout stamp to fish those waters.
Gotcha. Oh, currently unavailable. Interesting. Okay, guess we're not playing Rainbow. Hmm. Gonna watch video. I'm gonna go grab some pizza.
the methane party drop. We'll get all of these warthogs.
Welcome back, everyone, to the...
Pat Mac's going to be our man to watch here.
Never wanted Isabel.
Nope.
And Pat,
Nope.
I don't know how many videos I've made saying that Isabel sucks. And she's in our grand finals. She's right there.
I know, man. It's fucking crazy.
Screw me. Everyone is rolling over right now. All those Isabel fans, all 4 of you are just having a fucking ball about this. Let's go. It's underway. Spamming grunts right now. Normal opening. What are you expecting here? Who do you got for game number 1?
Who do I got?
Who do you
I got the Isabel wielding Pat Mac. He knows what the ladies like. All right? Obviously. But only, there's a stipulation. Only if they're computer animated or an artificial intelligence. Okay? Let's just be real. I've seen him play Serena. He's dope with her. I've seen him play Isabel. He's dope with her. That's the connection. He knows what the artificial intelligent ladies like. Okay? Pat Mac's going to be our man to watch here. Potentially one of the best players I've ever seen perform, period. Jeff Kills going for actually a double harvester, then using Pavium's, I don't even remember what the hell the leader power is called, drops it down to increase the production time on his 2 harvesters as they are completed.
Would you suggest that with Savior, Metalloid falling out of the tournament, that the best player in the world right now is Pat Mac, especially if they pull off this victory?
I don't know, man. That might be
too
able
bold?
to say. You might be able to say that.
Well,
2-0.
Too bold?
2-0 against
yeah.
the GOATs. Okay? 2-0.
Wow. I mean, I still can't wrap my head around that. Same normal play coming out of Yoda. I imagine he's going to put the raid. Yep, there's a raid camp. We've got a double raid camp coming here from Jetty. I think we're going to see a very, very similar play. They're going to try to overwhelm them in the early part. And this might be the only weakness that Pat Mac and Jeff have. Can they hold off that rush? That was our question coming into this game, Pat. How are they going to be able to, how do they stop it?
I don't know. I honestly think that with enough spam of choppers and Hellbringers, they can really stop that. That's what I was saying they needed when Moose Pack was playing against Yoda's team. That's something they need to use and utilize in order to handle that opening play. Yoda's squad goes for an all-in sorts of opener, you know, where they say they have so many units that are just all showing up at the enemy base in a very early time. But if you get past that, they don't have much else. They don't have preparation. They aren't ready to have any comebacks after that rush. They probably have not seen a lot of people stop that rush. So if they can pull it off, I honestly think it would be an easy game win.
Do you think if they just hold them off, push them into the mid-game, it's over?
Yeah, 100%.
I would agree that the longer this goes on, the more this tilts in favor of Pat Mac and Jeff. Especially with the Arbiter. I mean, what leader abilities are you going to use that late into the game? I prefer a defensive leader in the mid to late game.
I just love seeing Isabel do well for once. I just have to be
Also,
open and honest about that.
Let's not discount Pavium.
Yeah,
He's an animal.
He's a savage.
And I heard a lot of doubts coming into this tournament. Hosts decide that Pavium was not that great of a leader. Guess what? Here he is, grand finals, with none other than Isabel.
Yeah, and Jeff Kills goes for the enhanced production ability for Pavium every single time. He's actually upgraded. He's dropped it on his augmented extractor, 2 harvesters in main base while he's getting shrapnel rounds in order to get it in nearly half the time. I'm watching it here, and it's while I'm talking this sentence, these things I've been saying, shrapnel rounds is done, and it was started when I started talking. Wow. How crazy is that? What are you going to do about that?
It's not even going to slow him down either. He's going to get that tech 2 quick. No doubt about it.
Oh,
and look
easily.
At he's able to get 3 at once.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's insane. Like, what are you going to do, right? Seen a lot of choppers.
Did he double upgrade that?
Did he double up? Oh, dude, he's swimming.
Yeah, he's got it, right?
This guy's swimming, Nick. This guy is swimming. He's got supplies, he's got units.
They do scout this out. They've got those shrapnel mines, or shrapnel rounds, I should say, did a fair number against the infantry units that Savior and Reason had, or Savior and Metalloid had in the first semifinals. Will it be able to hold them off on this one? I think it will. Wow,
Oh.
Snipers 2. and here comes a hollow decoy. They don't know exactly how many they have. It looks like more
They
than
have
they
to
can.
back up. That's
Yeah.
it. Period.
Just the hollow decoy on its own, that's enough to push him back, right?
Oh my god, that's crazy. I was not expecting the sniper play at all. It just came out of nowhere on my screen. I'm loving this play. They just directly countered that. They were like, you know what? We're just going to choppers and snipes. We're good to go. That's it. Arbiter's going to go enforcers and elites. And at the same time, guess what? Yap Yap's just going to go for grunts with methane wagon. We are good to go across all fronts if we just do this concept.
They've got the perfect counter with the shrapnel rounds. They've got the snipes. This is the perfect one.
Oh, yes. And, you know, they still have good vision in front of the map. Actually, Pat Mac is opting in for double turret on his main base. I don't know if that's necessary, man. Oh, boy, here we go. That's a good teleport there. That's exactly what he was waiting for, was that aggression. We need the rams or the choppers. Choppers are coming
There
and
come
going
the
to do
Rams.
some serious numbers on Yoda's units. All of Yoda's units here are one shot. You need to keep all of those units alive there that are all hollow decoyed. Very large rush here with all these units, too. Oh, my God.
It's a bit of a bold teleport.
Yeah, I definitely
Not
don't
sure
know
how
if
I
that
feel
was
about it.
true. You need to micro these choppers back a little bit, though. That Arbiter is one-shotting some of these choppers. Oh, no. Wait a second. This is not over. I stand corrected. Having the double turret is most certainly going to help him beyond all means here. How? What just happened? What was that? 4, 5 snipers and 8 choppers?
Did you see what Pavium just did to Pat Mac's base? Helping him
Oh,
out.
yep. Look at that. Drops down. I didn't know you could do that on teammates' bases. That's
I
great to
didn't
know.
either.
Get the ram off on all those units. Oh, no. He could have
No,
just
I
walked
don't
through
know
all
if
those-
Ram's a good idea. You want to keep a little bit of a distance there. Don't take
yeah,
any more
good
damage
point.
onto
From
that.
the methane as well, yep.
Yeah.
Good job holding back. Just stay off to the side. You don't need to be in the middle of combat there.
They're just playing disciplined right now. If they can just survive this and not take too much damage from their base, I think
Oh,
this
that's a
will
good
tilt
drop.
favor.
Oh,
Wow!
my
What
God.
a drop.
Pat
That's going
Mac,
to stop this
oh.
rush in its tracks. Arbiter's down. Everything's down.
Oh my!
Do they
I
have
can't
enough
believe
units, though, to stop
that.
it
Yeah, Shade
officially?
turrets are still just rinsing everything. That Yap Yap aggression is most certainly notable.
Those shade turrets last a long time. He needs to drop both methane wagons, though.
Yes.
That second one shot has to be dropped. There it is.
Absolutely. Jeff Kills also
That's
just
to
bought.
stop it.
Jeff Kills just expanded. If you can see on your mini map, he's decided to start taking a little bit better of a hold. And believe it or not, throughout that whole engagement, Yoda and Fam lost basically everything. Okay, Pat Mac didn't lose a
did they
building on
upgrade
his
their
base. You know, Pat has everything. All right, Jeff has 2 bases now, and they're double pumping units. We're gonna see Marauder and Warthog play right into Kodiaks come out of these guys very soon.
I hate to suggest that the game has just tilted already. Yoda has no upgrade on his base. He's not Tech 2. Jetty is now upgrading to Tech 2. Blue has a secondary base going on right now. They have Tech 2. It's definitely tilted in favor of Blue, like we suggested. They're already getting the Warthogs out. This game has drastically shifted.
Yeah, for sure. The Warthogs are most certainly going to help in this engagement as long as Pat Mac just does what he's good at doing, and that's not overcommitting with those hogs. Just doing a good job of just rinsing units every now and again, whenever they pop out. Not a big deal. Easily done. Double garage on his main base. Needs to upgrade his supply pad, but everything else is fairly functional. Good thing for Pat Mac, he actually had 2 mini bases up and running throughout that whole engagement, so he was in no shortage of supplies or production facilities, so he's looking very good. And as I said, Jeff Kills now is on his second base, upgrading things, building more harvesters, getting his eco rolling while having double foundry for Marauder play. Pat Mac grabbing his expo right now as well. That's
Look
very
at
good.
that. Does Pavium's ability speed up his production of Locusts,
Oh, for certain.
Marauders?
Absolutely everything. Yep. You drop it
Wow.
on any building, doesn't matter if it's a main base, expansion, mini
It
base,
just-
teammates. It all of a sudden improves your production times, upgrade times, whatever you're hitting. And he's been using it on his main base constantly. He has an augmented harvester, 2 augmented extractors, and 2 foundries, and his main base all hit by his ability right now on his main base. Okay? Just to give you some sort of idea. Getting all kinds of power, supply, and that explains why he had 6,000 plus power in that game against
Yeah.
Metalloid and Savior as well.
Probably never stopped using it, and I don't think we acknowledged it enough in that game,
I did not
or even
spot
at
it.
all.
That's definitely a huge part of it. Pat Mac right now is upgrading, I believe. Oh, he's actually getting Kodiak and Warthog and getting vehicle 1 or 2 at the moment. Trying to get a little bit better of your. That's really crucial, especially when you're Isabel. You bought an expansion. You're definitely going to be power heavy for a while. Pat Mac is sitting at 1,200 power, so he's going to be spending that on some upgrades, getting things rolling. I'm loving it.
And right now we've got a push coming from Red a little bit. A lot of heavy grunts in that mix. I mean, it's just not an army composition you want to have
That's
right
gonna be
now,
a
especially
really
when
bad
they
experience.
eventually,
Ooh,
yeah,
but don't
especially when they
forget,
go up against blue.
don't forget about the heavy grunt EMP though. That is most certainly something that's underrated. Those Warthogs get on top of those units. All it takes is EMP, and they'll lose everything. They definitely knew that Jeff had the base here, so that's a good spot on their part. Getting aggressive on it is most certainly a good idea. They could drop this base before Pat Mac and company even get there to defend. There comes the Pavium drop. Going to be doing a good amount of
That
damage.
base is going to drop.
Yeah,
Could be a
I'd
pretty
be very
crucial play. But they're
surprised.
going to lose a ton of units there.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
maybe the base doesn't drop.
He's got an engineer on it right now. Oh, Pavium's
This game is
Pavium's
dead
ability.
over if they don't kill him.
Pavium,
or
the
if they
hero
don't kill
unit, is
that
doing
base.
it. Nope, that's it. This has got to be game. Every single one of these units got one shot from
They've
Pac
lost
Mac's
all their units.
Mac blast
Whoa,
there.
look at all of Blue's units just
Wait
got
a second.
one-shotted.
What just happened? The EMP blast must have been or something along those lines. Here comes the teleport. Oh my, what just happened? Pavium, the hero ability, is actually healing up that base very quickly. He has the power of at least 3 engineers. A Kodiak from Pat Mac just happens to be rolling in from all
Oh,
units. Oh,
We
no,
saw
that's
that
unfortunate.
earlier.
Yeah, you really need that. Locust coming in, and Phantoms out of Yoda as well. They're going to be doing a serious number on some of these units. Hollow Decoys dropping. Jeff might actually lose this X, but there comes the super heal on it. Or, I'm sorry, the super speed production ability from Pavium. With the shield coming up as well. Clutch play. That's actually going to be a huge help for him. That Pavium hero is serious force to be reckoned with. Definitely doing a lot of damage. Also gives Pat Mac some time to get some more Warthog forces out there. Shade turrets all dropping. But you have all these ungarrisoned Phantoms, which really are cool, but a really big liability in my opinion. They're a lot of money, take a lot of time to make, and you don't have any units to put them in, or put in them. Sorry.
Think if they don't I mean, I still think if they don't kill this base, that was just a massive fail. And it's going to end up setting them back pretty far, because, I mean, this was
Yeah.
their chance to get back into this game.
Yeah,
Again,
one
you
Reaver
pointed
will
out
kill
those
all
Phantoms
those.
don't have anything in them. They're just easy pickings. The Wolverines. I mean, what a brilliant play to get that shield gen up in a perfect amount of time. Pavium's hero's leader ability had the heal going on the entire time. I mean, that was just a great play, great defensive play.
I'm very impressed right now. I'm actually amazed that they did hold that off. This means that pretty much it's a big snowballing effect on the way back. It all came down to just knowing, like, essentially what happened was Yoda and company pushed, Abusement Park pushed, they lost the engagement, and then what they did is pushed again immediately after when they had a sizable army and then lost that engagement as well. That's 2 massive engagements that you really need to win when you're committing all infantry armies like that, or else you're in a really bad spot going forward. Of course, Pat Mac actually doing a misclick there with his 8 or so Wolverines, losing a couple. They are splitting up their units, which are very,
I think
very
they're just trying to
vulnerable
converge. It could be a
Okay,
good
yep,
play
there it
if they
is.
converge right here.
Yeah, there it goes. Too many wolves, though, in the mix. There goes the stasis
Wow,
on 2 of them.
he missed the stasis.
There
only
comes the
hit
Lich as
2.
well. This is one of the best things that Jeff Kills most certainly has been doing in this game, is calling in a Lich aggressively and then not losing it. He has a couple times where maybe he's like overcommitted with the Lich, called in a bunch of Reavers against Metalloid. However, just like, look how much damage it does. Just flying over here. It's a flying scarab for about
You're
a
also
minute.
producing units out of it.
Yeah, doing whatever you
Out of
want.
the vortex.
So what do you want to do? Oh, hey, look at this army. It's mostly infantry. I'm just gonna make a bunch of rangers, and then have them come right out, and it's
Now they
incredible.
can kill that vortex just as a precaution, but it's very difficult to focus on that vortex when you've got other units around there. Plus you've got the Lich, and then there's Pavium's beam.
Ooh.
We're looking at just an absolute counter. I mean, this is just done perfectly. There goes that base.
Yep. The base.
Each are down to 1.
Yep. It's gonna be ugly. Now that Pat Mac and Jeff Kills have had 2 bases basically this entire game, they can get aggressive. Pat Mac doing a little bit of a scout with this Warthog getting picked off. Once again, still going for the Phantom plays out of Yoda. I'm not sure if I still agree with them. Phantoms are really cool and helpful if used properly, especially with those. Yeah, but look at this. He just flew it right over.
I think he's trying to
the whole
get
field.
elite enforce. I mean, is he trying to put anything in there? Because I mean, he's producing elite
Yeah.
enforcers.
He's putting some
Maybe
enforcers in there.
Yeah, but
Phantoms are too expensive for their use, in my opinion.
and
You
they
know,
just don't put enough damage. or
Anything over
output enough
200
damage.
supply is expensive when it's not a good combat unit, especially something like
I would
that.
agree.
Yeah,
Except those NGs, baby.
that's right.
Well,
And NG's
salvage
boy.
NGs.
Well, they're definitely worth it. You know, they're fairly cheap, right?
They're
Respectively.
230, and they do a significant amount of damage.
Right.
I mean, and look at the patience. By the way, that Lich is still there, and there she goes.
There she goes flying away. Go home, baby. Go home, baby.
Oh, while the Lich was distracting us, they have pushed.
Oops.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're getting a little scouty scout going.
Oh, there's a teleport. Aggressive teleport on top of those units. Oh, that's a good choke, though. Oh, there goes the Mech Blast. Yep, bye. There goes every single unit that was on that teleport. Unfortunately for Yoda, the teleport radius is the same as a Mech Blast. There goes a Pavium Mine Drop, which is so good. Look at that. Kills, what is that? Almost killed like those. But, I mean, yeah. Yep, bye. There goes every...
Right now, they need one thing.
What is that? Almost killed like 4 or 5 heavy grunts there. Arbiter retreats back in order
Here
to get
comes
out of
Light Blue,
combat.
by the way, on the far right. I mean, right now they need one thing. PatMac in well, I guess they do have it. Okay, maybe it's just not lighting up on my screen. Do they have the center power node? It's not lighting up on mine, but
yeah, they do
Okay.
have. They have complete power
Good.
node control except for that one in front of.
okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's still white on my
for the
screen. But
Jedha's army. Yep.
I can say that pisses me off. They've done that 2 games now.
Oh yeah. And then that Pavium hero, man, he's strong. He does a lot of damage. Put him in that garrison. As soon as
And
you
you
take
can
that
also
thing
heal
down.
your units. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, selective healing. It's ridiculous. A bunch of hunters here coming out of Yoda is definitely not going to be enough. Here comes the massive red force from Jedha as well. They are going to pull back until they are both together. I'm seeing a little bit of combat here. Looks like who's pushing up here? Yoda actually, this is what he was doing with the Phantom play, Nick. Instead of using a teleport from Shipmaster, he's actually flying the enforcers across the map to deal with base damage. But of course, with the speed of the Warthogs that he has, I mean, he can just kill all these things very easily.
So
and not
he's
lose
using
anything.
those in place of Locust.
Yeah, of sorts.
Yeah.
Ooh, the stasis did land on half of those, but I mean, you're not gonna be able to kill that base.
We do have an engagement going down right here in the center. Pretty significant one as well.
Oh my, that's actually a double. That's 2-on-1 army-wise. Oh, but there's
Oh,
a
there's-
Pavium drop, and
Wow,
look at all
look at
of those
Pavium's beam.
units, man.
Everything is gone.
Everything's one shot, still dropping.
Everything's gonna drop.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
What's that? So what you thought was a good engagement there, just in general pushing that looked decent. You had hunters going up against the Marauders and Warthogs. Guess what? Not so much.
Yep, and keep in mind at the same time,
That's just
that was
control.
a 1v2. 1v2.
Yeah.
Jeff Kills versus Yoda and Jedha. Jeff Kills did take them all down. This combo that they're running is phenomenal, for sure, for a lot of scenarios. So they're definitely doing a good job.
And the
just kinda
way that they're
maintaining
running it, right? It's just perfectly executed. They're making their it looks I don't think they'll kill the base on this one. They do have a bunch of mines down on the left side.
I don't know, man. This base is unprotected. I think Yoda's main base is going to drop here, and then once it does drop, they'll just do a simple walk, or Jedha and Yoda will just self their bases and resign. Too many Goss Hogs, too many problems. So many
The
Wardogs, man.
Goss meta has returned
Yeah,
from
I was
Halo
gonna
Wars
say,
1.
you
That was the
think
last
this
time we
is
saw
Halo
it.
Wars 1 right
Game
here.
1, Pat.
Enemy player disconnected. Let's go, boys! That's a great opening
Game
to our grand
1.
final.
Here we are. Any closing thoughts on Game 1? I mean, I thought it was just a beautiful stop. They countered it well, and that was it.
Yeah.
Nothing else to it.
Yeah. I honestly think that the Phantom play from Yoda might have been the reason for that, the failure. Oh my god, he goes to machine the Phantom!
Leader power ready.
What's he gonna do?
Reinforcements level 2 researched.
You know, it's demoralizing when you make a Phantom and then that Phantom gets hijacked.
Yep.
It goes to the machine.
Power ready.
Yoda, take it and fly away. Take it and fly away, Yoda. Don't let your buddy die. No, he died. We're just gonna watch as this Phantom explodes in a fiery blaze. Heavy Grunts and Enforcer play. And I mean, when you're making Phantoms and putting Enforcers in them, your enemy in that same time is fortifying themselves, upgrading to Tech 2, getting Warthogs, and it really does not help you out as an individual. So, we're going to have to see, I think, maybe coming up with a different strategy in order to execute a lot of those starting units for Jeff Kills and PatMac. Do something that takes down choppers. Go for a quick tech into Cyclops if you're able to do it that quickly, right? Like, figure it out. You have to try at least something different or you're just going to get completely overwhelmed again.
Now, since they are both, they both are banished, they'll have to swap into hunters. for that
Right.
quick play,
Mhm.
which do cost a little bit of money and a little bit of extra power. So what that means is you have to get that map control early in the game if you want to produce those units. Get the power nodes on your side as soon as possible. It needs to be the utmost priority. Get the power globs. I don't know what they are, what they're called, but you need to get those globs on the field as quickly as possible as well, and not waste any power on units that you don't need.
Right. Another concept as
super
well
effective.
is, instead of taking the fight to their front door, take it to yours. We said the same concept with Savior Metalloid, is they love to sit on their side of the map because they can rally their units to their buildings much quicker. So, why not try that again, right? Try that with your own style. Take your massive army, keep it at your front door, and try to get them to come to you.
Only problem with that is giving up that center control. Maybe not necessarily sit. I mean, so let's point back to Savior and Metalloid. They like to play deep in their base, and they like to utilize Shipmaster's abilities to teleport across the map.
Right.
Problem with that is you give up center control. Those Kodiaks are so crucial. They come and play. We saw Pat Mac and Jeff utilize that center. They get that height advantage. The Mega Turrets also came into play. So I don't know if you could sit that far back, but maybe you get comfortable towards the center of the map rather. I think that might have been Savior and Metalloid's biggest flaw, as they also defended with Locust, which we saw goes to the machine. So hopefully that mistake isn't made again. Again, you can't play too far back. You want that center control more than anything.
Right. Yep. I 100% agree with you on that.
They don't have teleport from Shipmaster, so they can't necessarily do that like the previous team did. So again, getting that center control, you really can't get flanked necessarily like that. So you want that center control.
Right. And, Pat Mac actually bought the mini base in the middle and then went double barracks to kind of get aggressive with snipers, I believe. Yeah, I'm already seeing one sniper queued up. I'm kind of on the player cam right now just to see where he is scooting around. See, as once again, this is kind of like the Yoda team's thing, as they get everything together infantry-wise, and they kind of move together as a big ball. And that's great, except when you have leader powers, like, say, Pat Mac, where his tier 3 leader power is a Mac Blast, that he can just drop and kill literally everything the second you show up at the front door. Right? Big problems like that. Pavium as well, also super annoying. And you have to manage to capitalize on that. Like I said, maybe opt into something different, Maybe run a different leader and try choppers next time. But it all comes down to that initial engagement and how well they do.
Getting those enforcers out as well. Maybe if you utilize those enforcers a little bit better in the early part of the game, you might be able to shift some things. We do see those flamers. We do see suicide grunts in the early part right now. So far, good pickup on Yoda's side. Those choppers just came in for a nice sweep as well to take out those suicide grunts. It's going to be absolutely crucial for those choppers to pick off those suies as soon as possible. And you do see that enforcer play coming into effect as well.
And this is good that they're getting aggressive here, but why not collaborate together to pick a side? Pick it, like say, let's target the choppers, let's target the flamers, because
you can see them splitting them a little bit right now.
yeah, it's like you have to figure out where you want to go, because they definitely can't just shoot that mini base and drop it at this point, which they really want to do. It's just because of the fact that he's got a double barracks, all these supporting choppers and infantry units that are just going to keep pouring out. You're going to keep dropping the cannon fodder and really just hurting the starting infantry force here for the red team.
It looks like blue eventually is just going to overwhelm that, and yellow is crippled. I mean,
Yep.
yellow and red are crippled. Again, getting the center is just, if you can do that in the immediate part of the game, you've taken over. Especially when you have an aggressive player like Pat Mac using those flamers, they've got them running. Game has shifted in favor. They need to stop these suicide grunts, sacrifice a chopper into that. Not going to be the case. Those snipers are doing a significant amount of damage from that perch, though, and picking off those suies as well.
I really want to commend Jeff Kills on his ability to keep his choppers alive. He's so good at scooting and shooting. He's doing a great job just keeping those units alive, because it really matters. Like, as soon as it gets to the 5-minute mark, you're going to be happy you had like 4 more choppers than the other guy across the field.
Especially, you can just use them as scout units as well.
Right.
Once you're making that transition, you need him to die or something, just simply
And right as I
scout.
say that, he does lose every single chopper in a second. It's just
He just sacrificed them all. Look like.
That's how it goes.
I still think blue's got this. I think it's a bit of an imaginary push on red side. I don't think they necessarily are trying to get control, because they don't have the means to do it. I think they're just trying to show them, don't necessarily push us. Don't push our main bases yet.
Right.
Kind of like a flex play.
Ooh, nice EMP on that chopper there too from that heavy grunt. It does a serious amount of damage. Still middle map, like I said, Pat Mac still had this double barracks play this whole time. Hasn't been contested enough. It's been there. The fights have been in front of it, but they haven't been able to kill it. as you can tell, that's what Yoda and it's just basically what they see. They're like, okay, yeah, you know what we need to do is we need to keep getting aggressive as possible, as much as possible, on top of these infantry units. If we kill them and kill this mini base, then we have a good chance of at least attacking their base, and doing some damage. but they can't do anything until this mini base is dropped.
I think we'll see a pickup from Pat Mac. I mean, we need to see a pickup at least from someone on a secondary base right now. This is the point where you need to make that transition into a second base, give yourself the
Yeah.
advantage
Look at
going
this
into the
big
mid to late
split
game.
all over the place. Methane wagons finally getting contact from those flamethrowers. Pat Mac might have looked away for a second.
Look at those snipers in that garrison, though. Just
Yeah.
easily taking pop shots.
Just drop them 1 unit at a time. That's all you need.
And it's so subtle, you don't even notice it. They're not in action necessarily. They're pretty far away. Probably don't even realize that there's snipers there.
Yep, methane wagons. This is finally their retreat. They're like, you know what? If we can kill that mini base, let's go kill the other one. So they're gonna go all the way to the blue side and kill their mini base instead. I love.
I
the
don't
spread on
necessarily
this
know
map,
that's
too.
yeah. I just don't necessarily know if this is like an equal trade, so to speak.
It's not.
Do we have anyone who's upgraded into the secondary into Tech 2 at least?
Yeah, actually, when I take a look here, Jeff Kills is actually
Have
already
him.
Tech 2, throwing down his production booster ability leader power, and Pat Mac is actually upgrading to Tech 2 as well as we speak. So both these guys sticking to their normal guns, which is just, hey, get the quick tech. If I can't deal with the army, that's fine. By the time they show up, I'll be able to make some counter units. Whatever.
So they've both transitioned into Tech 2 much quicker than Yoda. Again, Yoda and Jetty, they haven't even clicked it yet. Tech 2 is not anything that's happening. Jetty's still pumping out heavy grunts right now. Yoda's still pumping out suicide grunts. I guess this is their push. This is what we saw last game. If they fail on this push, this game is over.
Yeah,
They
for
don't
sure.
have the means to push into the mid game. Here we go. We'll see how this pan.
Oh,
the shield generator
good timing, Jeff Kills.
at the right moment.
Yep, that's what-
Flamers are coming back in.
that game sense. You
It-
knew something was fishy. Something was
Well,
gonna
those
happen.
suicide grunts just took out a good portion of those flamers. The problem is, do they have enough
Oh my
units
god,
to kill it?
that almost did so much more damage. Also dropping, yep, there we go, a couple of extra things. Shade turrets are now coming down at the same time.
Maybe
Doing some serious
Blue doesn't
damage.
have the units to stop this.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Barrage constructed.
I'm not sure what happened. I think they might have misinterpreted
Allies are in trouble.
the amount of enemies because these enforcers from Yoda are actually just going to rinse a lot of these. I think taking advantage on those flamethrowers and just killing everything was perfect. Jeff Kills, as I was commending him for not losing
No
his
units.
choppers, you know, he lost every single chopper in that middle engagement. I think that's really what cost him that early round because all of these extra cannon fodder grunts, heavy grunts, none of them are dying. You know, and I think Yoda and Jetty might have seen that. They might be like, you know what, we need to just take out the choppers next time, we'll be fine. And I think that's what they did.
Well, Pavium is out and about right now, which could be a bit of a different factor here if he can get off a couple shots.
Yeah, because they can one
It's
shot.
just-
Like he actually does a serious amount of damage to some of these units.
Just took out 4 or 5 units right there. This is going to come down to Pat Mac. Can he get those hogs out quick enough to defend? I cannot believe it. I mean, Pat Mac's here to save the day. He got the hogs out. He's going to start picking off these one shots. I don't think it's over
Yeah,
yet.
but the EMPs on the hogs from the heavy grunts actually do a lot of damage. I agree with you though. It's definitely not. It's not all said and done yet. Pat Mac still has the opportunity.
Leader points
to
are
go
available
up
now.
and make some more units. He's a garage now. He swapped to. Looks like he's got how many garages? He has 3 garages now total. So he's doing some serious damage here, trying to figure out what to do next. I'm actually gonna follow his moving camera here. I want to see how he plans on defending Jeff's base. Jeff has dropped a heal on himself as well.
Just to note, we've got some phantoms coming from Yoda as we saw last game, so that wasn't a mistake. And Jetty is now getting the last pad on his base right now.
That Pavium drop there. Actually, he's going to do a good amount of damage, but did miss a lot
Just
of
not
units.
enough.
And look at this. The methane wagons are surrounding. Pat just lost so many warthogs there. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, there we go. Double pumping warthogs again. Trying to keep it up. He actually gets a vehicle upgrade too. If Jeff loses his base, it's obviously game.
Well, he got his hero leader back out, and he's gonna get that heal on it.
Yeah, Phantoms coming in across the map are actually going to be like a big help there. Teleporting on top of Fabium here, and the Marauders. Warthogs are coming in. What are they doing? They're trying to ram the Enforcers, it seems. Yeah, and look at that. Pavium has actually managed to heal Jeff's base nearly entirely, even though he will go down. He did heal a lot of units there.
Vehicle level 1 researched.
Vehicle level 1 just went up as well for our man Pat Mac. Doing a good amount of damage here. This is such a back and forth struggle, even though it's at someone's front door. Nick, are you noticing that?
Yeah, again, the Warthog play is really keeping them in, especially with giving. I mean, looking at Pavium's leader ability, anytime he loses his hero, he utilizes what is it called, where he drops in, and he's making the war council go quicker. He's getting Pavium's hero back out. He's utilizing his hero abilities pretty well.
Oh, that's a good back. Oh, did a serious amount of damage to that methane wagon.
Base is under attack.
But Jetty did get his units out of the way too.
But you're gonna see him get that the hero leader back out, and it's gonna help him get his shields back on his base,
Yeah, he's just
or
gonna
his
heal the
health
base
back.
again. Yeah. Wait, the hero is locked inside the base and it's healing the base. What?
No way.
That's not a thing, is it?
There's something else that could be healing it.
No, he's inside the base and he's healing the base.
Oh no.
A permanent heal on the main base.
But the
Look,
disadvantage
yes, he
with
just
that,
released it. Oh man.
yeah. But the disadvantage with that is that you have to get other units out.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a 1-on-2.
Right. But I mean,
So although
if
it
you ever
worked
need
for
that
a
clutch
se-
play, yeah.
That I'll take it. He's gonna hold them off.
Yeah.
What an impressive stop here.
Oh my. Wow. I bet you didn't know about that and just learned that right there. There
I
you
don't
have
know
it,
how
guys.
many people even knew about that. He probably didn't
bet
even
you
know about that.
Yeah, that's crazy. There you go. Pat Mac once again sticking to the Wolves Warthog combination. Watch out for that Arbiter. That Raging Arbiter is going to kill everything. Give me some flashbacks to Halo Wars 1. Now, here's another situation I want to bring up real quick, Nick. While they were attacking Pavium's front door, I get that you had to commit to that and that you felt like if you didn't, nothing else would happen. Imagine if you would have taken out Pat Mac's mini base right here. You gave him free Warthogs, essentially, for a good couple of minutes. You know, just now you're taking it out. If you just would have, say, recollected yourselves, brought yourselves back to the middle,
Why not
or at
take
least
map
sent your
control,
units
right?
at it. Yeah, you know, might as well. There goes the heal. And Pavium's here to save the day, so Pavium can start healing the base as well. And Pavium's heal is ridiculously strong. So there you have it.
And I think the game has completely shifted
Again.
in favor of blue, which I
Yeah.
don't know how many times we've seen that in this entire tournament so far. They need to pick up secondary bases, though. This is the time to do it. It looks like they're both making a move for it. It looks like Yellow's going to try to pick up a secondary base as well. I mean, you should have got it. I mean, Yoda. Here's my issue, right? Again, you make that commitment. You push towards blue. You don't take out the center mini base like you suggested, but you also don't pick up a main base or a secondary base for yourself as well. You didn't You didn't rush properly. It's 14 minutes into the game. You just now got your base. You could have had that about 5 minutes ago, which would have ended it.
It potentially would have, yeah. If you want to know something crazy, they're actually, Pat Mac is actually sending a unit out here. I believe Yoda just purchased an expansion on the far side of the map, and Pat Mac was like, "Hey, I was gonna buy that base for his buddy, for Jeff Kills as well." But it does look like, yep, they will stop Yoda's expansion there at that aggressive expo. Sneaking it will not work against Pat Mac.
And guess what? Now they don't have any expos,
Right. That's it.
and blue team's gonna have two once they kill the red over on that side. Yep, there it is. Pick it up, and then they'll each have a secondary base. Looks like yellow's now picking up a secondary base as well. Still, game has shifted in favor of blue.
Yeah, Pat Mac just got Gauss Cannon as well, which is going to be a very big help for him. Yoda
This is
is
going to be an incredible
with a
kill.
Phantom.
Yeah, just crushed everything.
He dropped a Mac Blast. Oh.
Dropped the Mac Blast, just crushed everything.
Yeah, everything's one shot now. All it takes is
And
one
what-
Marauder.
And what you saw was not even all of it. About half the units just completely fell off, like just died.
They went into orbit.
They're no longer with us, Pat.
Right, rest in peace. It's okay. Yoda did take the expansion to the top left, but believe it or not, Pat Mac has already set his rally point at that expo. So I'm sure he'll get a Warhawk there eventually to spot what's going on. A Phantom is still flying around the map, doing a little bit of scouting and damage at the same time, just being annoying. It's crucial sometimes, you really have to do it. All in all, I think as long as our boys, Pat Mac and Jeff Kills, keep all their units together, they'll be doing very good.
You notice what they're doing as well? They took out that mini base on the side. They're trying to control this hill right here for power no control. They aren't pushing straight to the main base, which is what
Yeah.
Yoda and Jetty did. They're taking it a little bit more methodically, and it's gonna, I think, pay off in the long run.
Yeah, Jeff Kills just lost his entire army of about It was probably over 3,000 supply and power worth of an army. It wasn't a giant one, but it was most certainly an army nonetheless, which is not good. Of course, at the same time, when we look at the minimap, you see this massive amoeba of blue kind of flopping its way across the map. That is Pat Mac's massive Warthog army. He's doing some serious damage and continuing to be aggressive as much as possible. Finally, these snipers are going to get targeted,
Here
but the
comes
Lich,
the Lich.
that's why. He doesn't need an army. He's got a Lich. That's why. Makes sense.
That's, you know,
There
when in
it
doubt.
goes. Lich it out, baby.
Yeah.
Grunt Dome does drop. That is the first time I've seen the Grunt Dome utilized from these players, I believe, in this series. Most certainly one of the most
But
annoying
we saw it in the
things.
last one.
Oh, okay. It must have been for like a second then, right?
It wasn't very effective.
Yeah, right. There comes the Pavium Mines, which Yoda and Fam do not realize are there. Getting a lot of the
I mean,
units
this Lich is gonna rinse everything as well. Jeff's not even trying to produce anything out of the Lich. That's the beauty of the Lich itself. You have the ability to have this beast of an air unit that just kills everything, and you also have the ability to produce units, but you don't have to do
Right.
both simultaneously. And it looks like we've got Dark Blue Pat Mac pushing straight into Yoda's base with those hogs. He does have Hollow Decoy down as well.
Our base is under attack.
Man, that's awesome. Do you know if you can select the units with the Lich, Nick, to do damage?
I don't know.
Because I wonder if you could. Because if you could focus fire with that thing, that would be ridiculous. I doubt you can, but it's just a thought.
I mean, it doesn't even need to focus fire. It just kills it, and it just backed up into a mine and just took out another methane wagon. Everything is falling apart for Red right now. Look at the picks going on at Dark Red's base. Jetty, I don't know if they have a response to this. They're trying to get the hunters. Hunters aren't moving quick enough. I think the meta of the hogs, the Gauss hogs, Pat, have returned. We haven't seen since Halo Wars 1.
Oh,
Yoda doesn't have an
found a
upgrade
base.
on this base.
Pat Mac's like, oh, hey, look at that. He's like, ooh, piece of
and-
candy, you know? Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. Oh, you were chasing me, and then I accidentally fell into your secondary base. Let me go ahead and take care of that.
Be right back.
We do have yellow. We have some yellow units behind Light Blue's base. Looks like a Banshee and some Enforcers as well. Now, if he can drop that shield, it would be pretty nice to take out that augmented extractor, slow them down a little bit. Again, Pavium does have that ability to regenerate supplies and power much quicker, so it probably wouldn't be too much of a setback. But nonetheless, be a nice thing to take out.
Yeah, Pat Mac did lose a little bit of his army in that engagement. At the same time, Pavium just being able to, you know, defend the Enforcer push. Like, that Enforcer push, that's exactly what Yoda needs to do. Is use his macro and micro game as strongly as possible, and then just attack 6 places at once, do a couple drops here and there, and then just keep the aggression up.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't even effective. He couldn't even kill the one-shot augmented extractor, Pat. Again, is RB is RB Enforcers, are they better than Locust Shippy? No.
No. At the end of the day,
I don't
no.
think you can use them in the same capacity. Enforcers are meant to rush, Locusts are meant to counter.
Yeah.
You flank really hard with them. I don't think they're being utilized properly here by Yoda. I could be wrong, but so far we're not seeing anything positive out of them. Couldn't even
Yeah.
kill a one-shot extractor,
Couldn't. Nope.
if anything. Now this would be a big kill from Red, and it looks like they will drop Pat Mac's base, which it's going to turn out to be a big play. Dark Blue is taking a long route all the way around, though, trying to get the flank on. This game's still wide open.
Yeah, you know, it's not over yet. For certain. Definitely good aggression there. Leader powers are most certainly getting more and more and more in the blue team's favor as the game goes on. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Doesn't mean there's nothing that Yoda and Fam can do. So, Team Abusement Park is still abusing.
And they're just going to walk right up to this front door. Jeff does have a pretty weak base right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to
Dark
Jeff.
Blue's got to turn around.
Jeff hasn't really been able to support himself. This is actually really bad. Pat Mac's going to do a trade on the far side. Oh, that's Yoda's main base, though. Might potentially be worth it. Pavium's going to try to show up here as well. I'm sure they do almost have a Mac blast back. Yeah, a couple of their leader abilities they can use to their advantage. And that should most certainly help the situation. But all they have to do
This
is
game's
really
going to turn into a
focus
base
on
trade,
the
though.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm
One
totally
Mac
fine
blast
with
in
that.
that center should do a significant amount of damage. Maybe they're waiting for Ghost in the Machine as well.
Yeah, be careful with your Pavium. You're gonna lose Pavium. You know what he should do is kill that Pavium. Oh, he doesn't have a War Council on his base. I was gonna say, lock your base, put your Pavium in it, just have a never-ending healing base. That's what you have to do.
Now it doesn't make it invincible, we should note. It just heals it consistently.
Right. I wonder if
They are
engineers
really
do
just
that.
they're really trying. Maybe They are committed to the base trade. I don't think it's going to pan out in favor of... Yeah, there's Ghost in the Machine. Notice how they took the Banshees so they could shoot at the Hunters, but I just don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
enough. And Pat Mac needs more turrets.
Yeah, Pat Mac's still getting aggressive on this yellow base.
Our base is
But there are 6 Shade turrets rinsing all of his Warthogs as well. This is not good, Pat Mac. You're gonna lose.
He's got to make the kill right there.
Yeah, he needs his Mac Blast back, and he will have it soon here in the middle of the attack.
This game, I think, is over. I don't necessarily like the base trade idea. It rarely works. If you look at Jeff, maybe if he had an upgraded secondary base before he lost that main base, this would be different. Because eventually, I mean, Jeff can't produce too many units right now. He's going to try to commit to the Marauder since it's the quickest thing he can make, but he's not going to be able to produce enough. I guess he has to find Yoda's base, secondary base right now, and get him running. That's the only way you can do this, but he's got to find it. He can't confront this army.
Yeah.
He would lose.
Pat Mac just handed a
Let's
lot
get
of
a-
power to
a
Jeff
Mac
as
Blast.
well.
supply pad constructed.
There's
Oh,
the
there comes
Lich.
the Lich. That's what the power of feud was for. I don't know if you should drop it though. You mean, what's the point of doing this? They're just gonna keep walking on the next base. They're not gonna deal with this Lich. Oh, Pat Mac might decide to engage it? I'm not sure.
Okay, Pat Mac, I just saw his icon shift over toward where Yoda's main base is now. This could turn out to be a nice play. He's got to pick that main base off though right now. Somehow, well, Jeff has a shield on his secondary base. It could slow it down, but I just don't know if they have the ability to deal with it. I think this game ultimately lies right now on Jetty's ability to stay alive.
Yeah.
He's the only one with a functioning base, so this game really does rely on him. Look at Pavium's ability. It's not going to do as much with Grunt Dome. There's Methane. Yoda's going to lose his base. Yoda's committed to pretty much not defending a base.
There's the Mac Blast.
Here's the Mac Blast.
Oh, what
Didn't
happened?
do that much.
It didn't do anything, I think.
Does the methane cause a
I'm
heal
not sure.
as well?
No.
That did not look like it did anything.
The Grunt Dome might
Um,
have been up. Effectively. Potentially. I'm not sure. Might just be so many animations that you can't tell. Jeff's base does go down.
Supply pad
And
constructed.
we're down to a couple Warthogs here for Pat Mac. He's trying to skirt around the map to find him. Of course, all it takes is a couple of those hunters to find the hogs, even though it takes him 25 years to get across the map. That's all you really need. Yep, there
This
goes
one's
another
over.
base.
Game 2 is gonna go to RTS Yoda and Jetty.
Are you sure? I don't think it's over yet.
It's over. Jeff has been eliminated. Look at Yoda. I mean, look at
Jeff. Poor Jeff.
look at Pat Mac's army. It's really nothing.
Yeah, they're gonna go for a defensive
Yoda's
play.
gonna be able to pick up a base eventually, and all they have to do is sit in front of it.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway from this game? I'm a little bit
They are not.
impressed.
They are not invincible.
No.
That's what I just learned.
Not at all.
You know, they,
Definitely a lot of mistakes on playing together. For Blue, I think they needed to take control of the center and hold it. You know what also, as much as we criticize Yoda and Jetty for their inability to win on that push that they did that lasted, but the one thing that push did was it lasted for about 5-6 minutes and it really held them back
yeah,
for
for
a
sure.
very long time.
I
So
still-
maybe that's more of it.
I still think the biggest problem overall was the
Firebase
fact
constructed.
that Jetty did end up, or not Jetty, sorry, that Jeff Kills lost all of his choppers in the early game. That's such a
Yeah.
big part of what went wrong. And
Went for the ram.
yeah, and that, like, if he would have kept at least 6 or 7 or 8 of those alive out of the 10 or so he made, then Pat Mac would have been left to fend for himself on that initial attack. Yeah, a couple of Wardogs here did get caught. The EMPs are flying out, doing a lot of damage to him. Pat Mac's trying to run the 2-base play. Not necessarily working.
Our base is under attack.
Yeah, there you go. Couple more Warthogs getting picked off. And I think Pat Mac realizes that he's SOL.
So let's take a look toward map number 3, Pat. And this is a best of 5 series. We've got Bedrock next. Who do you favor for Bedrock?
Honestly, I think that the Isabel play might give them a little bit of an upper hand, just because of the. In blue, we got Pat Mack not playing for Team NVS. If you guys follow competitive esports, and then we got Jeff Kills running a chopper off the start. These boys love their Pavium Isabel combo. It has proven to work and beaten some of the best players in the game. So let's see where they go from there.
Who has to win this game? Obviously, it's game 2. It's a best of 5. First of 3 wins it. But who is the team that needs this victory more than the other?
I think Pat Mack does. I think he has a lot to prove, for sure. You know,
I
no
agree.
offense to Jeff Kills. Jeff Kills. Let's talk a little bit about their legacy here, Nick. How was this team formed?
Okay, so initially, I can't remember who Jeff joined in with. I think it was Harley or Hardy. Harley, I think it was.
Yeah, Harley's a good
And
player.
then-
Yep.
And then I got a email saying we're switching it up. Pat Mack is now going to be my second player. So I mean, this team was formed a little bit later in the turn, or later in the registration process. So I guess, how long have they been practicing together? That's the big question you gotta ask. How long
Probably
have they been trying to
days.
put these strategies together? Definitely, probably not as long as Savior and Metaloid, who just tinker with the game every day, all day, and same with Yoda.
Agreed.
So I would agree with you that Blue has to win this game right here. They can't let Yoda and Jetty take control of this series. Otherwise, I think it's going to be 3-1. I don't know if I necessarily see this going to 5 anyways, but and we saw them dominate this map earlier. Probably do it again.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I could see them doing it. You know, it all comes down to Pat Mack trying to regain his legacy as well. Because, of course, in the last TVG tournament, he was knocked out by Metaloid and Savior, and he 2-0'd him. He's climbed the hardest rung in the ladder, and now he has to keep going.
No stopping now, especially considering that Savior took out Yoda in that 1v1 tournament and in the 2s tournament as well last time around. So the championship is up in the air again. For any of you guys who have not seen our season or our Grand Finals season 1, that was grand. I think the crown went to Udpu and Simic. The 2v2 tournament then went to Simic and Udpu, it went to Savior and Metaloid, who played against Simic. Udpu took him out. That was season 2 champ, and now season 3 is up in the air. It's not going to be a repeat, so we could potentially have 3 different teams who are champions.
Which is awesome.
We have a champions tournament.
It just
a little
goes to
round
show
robin.
you don't know who the best in the world are. You know, you truly
And
don't.
it changes.
It's changing constantly. People are proving themselves better and better every day, and the leaderboards show it, and so do these tournaments.
And here we go, making a lot of push towards the center. This time around, they're going to need those choppers out, and they're going to need to keep them alive. They're going to need more choppers than they had last time as well. Looks like they're doing that. Need to get that shrapnel round out as soon as possible as well.
One question I have for Yoda is why he doesn't incorporate more enforcers off the start. Why not do one of the building killer opening rushes where you have double raid camp, 4th and 5th on your base, you have an upgraded extractor, and then you're just pumping like crazy. I get the build is definitely more all in, but you are able to incorporate at least one mini base, and you still have a great army. I feel like grunt squads with elites are really not as viable as enforcers are early game.
I would agree with you on that. But these shrapnel round choppers, I mean, if you've got enough, it really doesn't matter what infantry the enemy pushes out. They're
Right.
going to, I mean, especially in this early game, they're going to pick them off.
Right, and that
Especially
furthers
with
my
that
point.
flamer.
Also, with the stasis grenade that enforcers have, you can do a number on choppers, an absolutely ridiculously large amount of damage. Not only do they take off nearly a third or a half of their health with every land, but they also get them, you know, so they can't micro the choppers, and they're basically a waste at that point.
We got a big engagement going on in the center. This might dictate how the rest of this this early game's gonna play out. Suicide Grunt just blowing up. We need to get those choppers a little bit further back. There they go. This looks like it favors blue, especially since they are on this ramp as well. A little bit deceiving when you've got a few extra cannon fodders in there.
Yeah. It's just very
I
interesting
think
to
the
see.
majority of those are heavy grunts.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Was having Jeff keep his choppers alive is one of the most important parts of it. And I mean, look at that. The Arbiter Slash can kill those bastards in one hit, it seems like.
And now they're just going to push back a little bit, play it safe, hold that center control, take control power nodes. And now we're seeing the early game tilt right in favor of red, which is expected. I mean, these guys are rushers. Their leaders are built around that rush. It's almost like Pat Mac and Jeff are just kind of doing a little bit of a makeshift rush, considering that Pavium and Isabel don't necessarily have a rushing strategy or rushing components to them.
Right.
Do you expect this kind of play, but they definitely need to take some sort of control here, or at least slow them down, because they are continuously pushing, taking these power nodes.
Supply
Yeah,
pad
see, a couple of
upgrades.
overstep choppers there are gonna get picked off, losing 2 of them. Definitely needs to micro the one-shot ones to the back. Keep up with the
Garage
dancing.
constructed.
See how they do.
We've got a far right push coming here from Yellow. He's got his, I think he's going straight onto, and look at Pavium just helping out. Isabel right there. And then we've also got Yellow pushing up to Isabel's main.
Yeah, it's
Could
such
have
a cool concept.
well, they caught him split. They caught him split. Red's gonna lose a good portion of its units. Ooh, might be able to get away.
Oh,
Good
my.
distraction there.
Yeah.
But Yellow is pushing up. No, Yellow's not. Yellow is, Yellow's not. I can't tell. Yellow can't make up their mind.
Oh, there's the rage mode in the
Arbiter
Arbiter.
is a raging.
He's raging!
Constructed.
Man, Arbiter can one-shot choppers. That's crazy. Not necessarily, but pretty close to it.
Supply pad upgrade complete.
Yoda has incredible control of the Arbiter there, just manually selecting every single chopper.
Teleport
There's the
in.
big teleport because he showed up a little late. Look at the suicide grunt
Wow.
connections, man. Arbiter's still going crazy on those choppers, man. One after the other. Getting rammed now.
Our base is under
He's got to
attack.
micro those choppers a little bit better, no? I mean, they're just sitting stagnant right there.
That one comes from Halo Wars 1 practice. There's a Mac Blast! Oh,
That
nice
40%
connect there.
reduction by the engineer is going to stall that. And Blue has lost a good, pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything. Oh my,
Again,
what is
we're seeing a
happening?
very similar play as last time. They didn't get control of the early game quick enough. Yoda's taken over. Jetty's taken over. It all comes down to the suicide grunts and that Arbiter. I really do think so. And, I mean, Jetty's got to... I mean, not Jetty, I'm sorry. Pat Mac, they've got to micro a little bit better. They've got to move their units quickly. I know the Flamers can't really move past those suicide grunts that well. But those choppers especially, I mean, they've got to keep moving around. The Arbiter can't be slashing them like that.
Yeah.
And that's... I think we're looking at game 3 right there, and that might be a quick one.
Right. I also
Suicide
don't know
grunts
if
are
you
coming
noticed. Did you notice how they changed gear up to attack Pat Mac first?
Well, that is true. They
That
went
is
for the-
actually a huge bonus too, because I honestly think Pat Mac is one of the. You can't leave the Isabel alone because the Warthog spam will eventually overwhelm you.
Back to haunt
So
you.
they're like, okay, let's just go right to the Warthog spam. Let's just shut it down right here, and I think that's a huge help. Especially because the Pavium, you know, what's he gonna do? Make just more Marauders and then set him in? Like, it's not much he can do if you get enough units out there.
Data point earned.
The stasis grenades finally coming out there for Yoda as well, going to definitely be a big help against those Warthogs, getting them pretty weak and stunning them for a while. It's also
I
great because you can
noticed-
cut them off in surrounds.
Why again? And well, this is a nice bit of a leader power right there. Grunthome just came in, nice counter to that. Again, I'm a bit annoyed that Yoda company have not picked up secondary bases. I just think it's something that needs to be done. You don't necessarily know if you're going to win this engagement right here. I think the game's over right here, but you can never be too sure. Pick up that secondary base and make sure that this game is over. Marauders are now coming into effect. Those Warthogs as well. If Pat Mac loses this base, game 3 is done. And it is
It's nearly
oh so close,
There
and
it
that's
goes.
it.
Yep.
Game 3, Yoda, they are 1 game away from winning BTC Halo Wars 2 2v2
Man,
Open.
lots of upsets
tournament.
going on. For
Not
real.
producing any power. Call in a generator.
I mean, all right, so Pat, let's talk. It's a race to the center. Whoever gets center control usually pans out and becomes the winner. We'll see how this one ends up.
Mm-hmm. Looks like.
Looks like-
I'm sorry. I'm actually going to interrupt you. I'm going to
Race.
chase Pat Mac here for a second. He is also
Split.
opting for choppers. I think they're going for a double chopper over, probably into some shrapnel rounds to deal with these infantry units, just because that is such a big help. That's something that keep in mind that we did see Jeff Kills do a couple games is opt in for shrapnel rounds against Metalloid Monkey and Savior, when they had infantry-heavy armies. We haven't seen that yet this series, I believe. If we have, you know, it wasn't very effective. So I honestly think that's probably something that Jeff has to work on in order to execute properly, help out in the situation, and kill so many of these damn starting infantry units, you know?
Now, I think the pressure actually shifts over toward Pat Mack. He switched leaders. He wasn't comfortable in what he was doing. Maybe, I mean, when we play Halo 3, Pat, if you're dying or if I'm dying, it's usually the other person's problem, right? Because the fact that we're not there to support them. Maybe Pat Mack is having this feeling that because Jeff, it looks like he's struggling a little bit, maybe it's actually on Pat's shoulders because he's not able to help him in that early part of the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is an interesting switch up. We'll see if Desi has a role here in Grand Finals Game 4, and maybe it can change the trajectory of this finals, because it's definitely shifted heavily in favor of Amusement Park. I think morale's definitely down for Jeff as well. Jeff and Pat. So I mean, this is again must-win game. Hopefully,
Yeah.
the Desi play is going to be enough to push them into Game 5.
Right? They are solidifying their position in second place if they don't wrap this one up. So
We've still got the double raid camp coming out from Yoda. I mean, this is pretty typical. And then the one raid camp coming from Yoda, 2 from Jetty. They're just trying to push center, get control, getting power nodes right now. Actually, Jetty has opted for a 3rd raid camp. He's going to push out as many heavy grunts as he possibly can. We'll see how that pans out. Again, you need that chopper, you need that NG play, and I like what you said earlier with the suicide grunts. You need something to stop these, and doesn't actually look like Pat Mack has that answer.
yeah, it's actually
camp.
he's actually doing the second thing I suggested, which is change up your leader and go for something that can help with these infantry units out of the game. And you know he's doing exactly that. Pat Mack's like, hey, you know what? I'm an experienced player. I'm good at what I do. I'm just gonna chase down all these units and force Yoda to back up. And I want to just make it so early game I have complete control. And if you do that, then guess what? You're in a great spot moving forward into the later parts of the game, especially the mid game where all those big engagements are going to really matter.
And also, Jeff switched up his strategy a little bit, getting Pavium out.
Pat Max might get,
quickly.
Oh, nice catch. Nice catch. Almost lost a couple of those choppers there. Almost got caught off guard. Ah, there's your switch. I see what you're saying. A lot of grunts coming out.
That leader ability, or with that
of
leader hero.
Pavium. You're actually not seeing choppers out of Pavium this time, which is interesting.
Well, give that to Desi. I think Desi's better for choppers anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if you get that, if you can get those NGs out. But I
And
don't
Vortex
even see
too. Vortex is very
Airpad.
helpful.
You Vortex and then get the ram in.
Ooh, there comes the
What's that?
grenades. Oh my god, that's a huge engagement. Oh no, that might not be looking good for blue though. Oh no. Yep.
Here comes the Vortex, maybe a little bit too late. Again, he's not gonna be able to micro those choppers during this play.
Oh, it's not over
Doesn't
yet
look
though.
like he'll need
It's
to.
not over yet. It's a pretty even engagement still. All
Gotta
those
be very careful with
brutes
those
are one
rams.
shot. Yeah. There we go. He actually opted for a Pavium opener. So he's actually got Pavium out here
Yeah.
as a hero. Maybe doing some damage. Pavium is a very, very strong hero. He does a lot of damage. I love the cannon he's got. Messes all the people up. Pat Mack proving why he's a good chopper player here too. Microing those things as soon as they get one shot. But here comes Big Daddy Sheila. The Arbiter is here doing all kinds of damage to these units. Going to be doing a lot of things in rage mode. The problem with the Arbiter is that its hitbox happens even after you pull away your chopper sometimes. It'll actually engage a chopper, and if you don't pull it away quick enough, it'll actually do a lot of damage to it. Pat
And
Mack once again.
Pavium's not moving.
Yeah, and if you look at this too, yeah, Pavium's gonna drop here. Jeff Kills is not doing okay micromanagement wise, potentially. I don't know what was going on there. But it does look like shrapnel rounds has just been researched for Pat Mack as well, so it's gonna help a lot with this if he keeps up with
Now
the
you gotta
chopper
keep the
play.
distance.
Yeah.
You can't ram with him now. Keep the
Yeah.
distance. Look, losing that middle is not necessarily the worst thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that you've lost control of the game, but you've got to keep them contained toward that. You can't have them pushing towards your base, towards those power nodes, because that's really when the snowball just gets uncontrollable.
Yeah. Pat Mack
Here
gets some
comes
great
Yellow
micro
pushing
here.
right up.
Good
This is
dodge.
what I was talking about. They cannot let them just
Yeah.
walk up to their
The
main.
problem is Jeff has nothing. Jeff has 4 units. That's it.
And are they sitting right in front of his base?
Yep.
We might be looking at the end of the tournament right here. It's going to take quite a miracle for Blue to pull this off now. Pavium's out. He could get a good drop in. Ooh, they
Good stasis on him
stunned
too.
him. Now look, they're surrounding him. They're waiting,
Choppers
and
showing
it's
up for
just gonna
Pat
get
Mac,
picked
too.
off. What a beautiful play right there. The stasis, they get a perfect surround on him.
Yeah, and now he's stuck.
That's,
Arbiter's getting one shot though.
maybe he's gonna drop. No,
Arbiter's
he's
still
gonna
alive.
get. Maybe I think he's gonna get an engineer with that drop. No, he's not. Arby just
Yeah.
raging uncontrollably.
Oh, he's
Doesn't
gotta kill
care.
everything. Yep, Arbiter goes down. There comes the shade, dropping in the shade.
Dropping in the shade.
There's a lot of shadiness going on here for the red team, doing a lot of damage. Pat Mac had to pull all of his choppers back to engage. We have a complete shade turret spread here. Turrets coming up here for Jeff Kills, and there goes him.
Oh, it's gonna be a good Havium hit.
Yeah,
Except
but
he's
all
out of
you
view.
just gotta scurry away, you know. It's just
Jeff
one
is
of those
out of units.
Oh, there we go. We're actually gonna get a nice vortex here. It's upgraded.
Wow,
so he's
that was
gonna
a
do some
great
damage.
pickup right there.
Yeah, gonna do okay. Of course, it has been nerfed all over the place over the last couple of months. And it looks like the chopper spam from Pat Mac has been reduced to basically 2 choppers. And a couple of units are still at Jeff's base. Jeff has managed to upgrade it. Those shade turrets are throwing shade, but they aren't doing much anything else. So they might be able to defend this, but they need to be preparing right now for the future tech. Of course, Pat Mac just grabbed a second base as well. It is on the way. And if they get that bad boy up and rolling, Nick, then they might be okay. But, I mean, they just... Yoda... Team Abusement Park has had this whole time just to, once again, tech up everything and build up their armies that they want.
Here's an interesting thing to note. Yoda has not teched. He had the opportunity to tech. Had the opportunity to pick up a base. Both Jetty and Yoda have not. But look at Blue. They have. I mean, you can even go as far to say he's expoed. He's got the expo coming up. I don't know if it'll actually stay. I mean, Jeff and Pat have a chance to really push into the mid to late game now, which is where they are most comfortable for sure. So this game is still wide open.
It is, too.
Hello?
You know, it's all comes down to whoever makes that crucial final decision.
Huh?
I had to go to 3 different gas stations.
Nice. Yeah, you were gone a while. That's a valid point.
Yeah. First one I
Wow.
went to, I know has fishing licenses and stuff. I
Mhm.
went. Well, their power went out last night and their machine was not working.
Nice.
So I had to go across the highway. It turns out that store is a franchise store and only corporate stores do the licenses.
Figures.
So I had to go to the other side of the city for the next one.
Nice.
And I had to wait for their machine to reboot up because they wasn't plugged in.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. Just couldn't catch a break.
Apparently. I've just been watching some Halo Wars 2 professional play. 'Cause fuck it. You know?
Looks like Pat Mac is getting aggressive on Jetty's main. Gonna try to be annoying
Which is
as
a good
hell.
thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Not
Change the
upgraded.
focus.
He's noticing that they have a little bit of an advantage here. I don't
Yeah, what's
I don't
up?
like the idea of shooting the main though. I'm not a fan of that.
Back,
I like
cams
it. I
on.
mean, Halo Wars 2, I think too many players just shoot the main, and they don't necessarily appreciate the aspect of Halo Wars 1
okay.
where you shoot the supply pads
How
on the
late are you
side.
planning
Yeah,
on being
so
on?
we-
You gotta do it. Just do it. Take out a supply pad. Take out
Friday.
an extractor, because guess what? They have to
Would
reinvest
you
in
be
that.
willing to start playing?
Look at that. They just took
AG?
down Pat Mac's expansion. This is not
Very
good
interesting
at all
proposition.
for the boys.
They're
in
still
blue.
rolling here.
That's a
Yeah,
very
here comes some
interesting
choppers out of
proposition,
nowhere.
sir.
They're all getting
I'm not
one
sure
shot.
where the
Maybe
hunters
why
are
it was
necessary. Maybe
Yeah.
precaution.
Okay.
Methane wagon, maybe?
Because
Fucking did, mate.
Oh, there goes Arby. Going
Today's the
for
last day
Pavium.
of free fly,
You
Last
said
year, what?
Jeff Kills is having base
Flash.
running, but he only has one production builder, so
Oh.
his main and his hero. Yeah, Nick,
Space.
can I be honest here? This
Well,
feels like
get on that
it's
and play
a
that
totally
for a
different
bit.
team than the one we watched destroy.
Are you gonna stay up pretty late tonight?
Metal
No,
Loading
fuck
Saber.
that.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
buy the
Does it
game
not?
and then
Okay.
play it again.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
No, because
unfortunately,
I'm
You
staying
see
up
this
all
a
Yeah,
night.
lot
there's
in
the
sports.
internet
You
things
get
going on
that
today.
Yeah.
massive upset, and then you're let down the next week. Especially in college football, you'll see that.
at like 3 a.m.
You get so hyped up and maybe you don't mentally reset yourself and refocus, right? You beat
sleep at
arguably the best team in the world,
early
which was
evening
Metalloid
tomorrow
and
and wake
Savior.
up.
I still think they're probably the best team, right? You play them out of, you play them 100 times, you're probably not going to
I'm
win
just gonna stay up all night. And
even
then,
20 of those, right?
Right.
So again, you've got to mentally reset yourself.
I'll be on
After
all
that massive
night,
win, you've
so
got to get that
I'm gonna-
focus
I'm gonna
down.
play a little bit
And
of
I don't think they
Phaz
have that
tonight
focus.
with
They've
Cat.
been sloppy with their micro, their macro,
Did you get Phaz? You didn't get Phaz.
and they've been outplayed, honestly. They did
Yeah.
such a nice job in the first series of that, of stopping the early rush, and they have not been able to have an answer. And I think Yoda and Jetty's rush has been even more simpler. They just spam heavy grunts, suicide
Maybe.
grunts. It's not necessarily as complex as what we saw earlier, and they're just struggling completely to stop it.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I mean, look, you've got the Rangers. They're still,
Yeah, we got
they're still
in a couple
slowing it
days,
down.
Need a break from the grind.
But map control has now shifted in favor of Yoda and Jetty.
He'll come back though.
Even though he's taking a
Got a
center power
37.
node, it's a bit sneaky.
Cheeky, cheeky.
Look, this is the time right now. Take out that augmented harvester on the side. It's weak. Take out the augmented harvester. Guess what? It's the only one that's augmented. It's the
This
only one
shield
that's
gen might
upgraded.
come up,
Just
too.
take it out.
Ooh, just go down. That's a lucky pick there. I felt like it was coming up soon. I was like, ooh. The grunt dome does go down, so they are able to chase these final infantry
break
units.
from the grinder
However,
rocket
like I
league.
said, two bases have been
Yeah.
in full production mode. Pat Mac doing a wonderful job defending his base, but at what cost? Everything? Your whole army? Your side of the map?
Well, if they can push him back and get a little bit more control here, it starts with taking your power node. It starts with expoing again. Jeff needs to expo. It looks like he realizes that now. You need, and again, I don't understand this with Yoda and Jetty. Yoda, guess what? Hasn't gone to Tech 2 yet. He is so committed to the early game, has not upgraded. It is 11 minutes 30 seconds into the game. He has not picked up an expo.
Alright, so the plan is, Cam,
again, all it takes is
at
Pat
about
Mac
8 o'clock your time,
and Jeff to get a little
'cause
more
Cat is
control.
on Eastern
And this game's
time,
over.
like you,
Yoda has not
weirdo.
pushed himself or transitioned himself well enough into the
So-
second part of the game.
So around
and it's-
8, we're
I
gonna
think it
play,
could
I'm
very
gonna
well
play
cost them.
Phaz
And
for like
if they
an
do
hour,
lose this
hour and a
game,
half, roughly.
or the tournament, they should look
And
back
then-
at this
and then-
moment right here and say, what were
so
we doing?
around
Why aren't you
9-ish,
transitioning into
roughly,
Tech
is
2?
where we
You're
will
getting
start.
very cocky right now. Again,
Daisy, yeah.
take the safe plays. Do
Yeah.
the routine thing. Get that.
Aye.
You need that
Okay.
secondary base by the 6-minute mark. 7-minute, very latest. Get Tech 2 by 4 or 5 minutes. This is pretty basic stuff, and they're not doing it.
Yeah. Just like you said, that's kind of how it goes. A lot of these elite rangers here were able to get out even though they were surrounded by 2 methane wagons, which was not a good friendly situation. However, Jeff Kills' his entire army is following up the back, getting rinsed by shade turrets. Really needs to focus fire or something. He's kind of getting rinsed by all these different turrets in different angles. Looks like
Here
Pat
we
Mac's
go.
base is going down again. Second time it's dropped.
Jeff does have the chance to get his secondary base up. It should be up in just about 12 seconds, so that's fine. They'll be up 3-2 on the base count.
Yeah.
Again, if Yoda keeps pushing out these simple enforcers, I don't know. I like the idea of just getting a bunch of Marauders out right now. I don't necessarily like the Ranger play. I'd rather stick with Marauders, get Thick Hide. You have Tech 2, push
Is
to
there
Tech
like a
3.
private channel that
especially if you
Tyler
have
and Justin
Pavium.
are in?
I get to the Thick Hide.
Are they on?
Yeah, they're on.
See if Yoda's chosen to expand a little bit close.
Who knows?
He's finally
Alex.
opted to upgrade his base, get
Alex.
Tech 2,
Oh
getting the
shit.
Apex out. He's got a
Yeah,
raid
is there a
camp
private
on
call
his
they're in?
main, and then
No.
he's got
Oh,
an
there
air
they
pad
are.
as well.
No, it's just
right on
Justin.
cue.
He's got an air pad on
Right
his
as you were
secondary base
asking
as well.
about
He's
him.
gotta have,
Huh?
gotta be a
We're
little
not
fun
playing together.
supply
No.
tab.
Talking about me and Tyler.
Yeah, I was literally just
He
about
thought
to
y'all
say
were
that.
in
I was
some
saying,
private
Switch
chat
gears
away
real
from
quick.
I was chilling and I saw you
yeah,
both
Yoda's got
on.
Oh, you thought we made
150
another,
supplies,
No.
180
no,
power. He's
Taylor
not
chat?
bringing in anything. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
just realized
basically.
that, and he's
So,
sacking it for.
I was just
Okay,
sitting,
he just sacked two
yeah,
of them.
We were in here just chatting, and
He's
then I saw
okay.
you both were on.
I'm a
and
bit
I was
confused.
like, oh, are they?
Oh,
I was like,
yeah,
Alex,
okay,
are they
so
in some
pushing all the
private
way
call
across the
together or
map,
something?
actually, over out to Jeff
And
Kills'
then
base,
right
which is
Oh,
after
you
that,
did back
you-
on, which
you-
was like, oh, I guess I'll like
Yoda's
go check
opted
out
for
his
just raid camps now.
Yeah, like I said,
Me
you just need
camp-
to
me
go
camp, we're gonna
enforce
play
at a
some
certain
DayZ
point. Like,
tonight,
the
and
Arbiter is so good. Those
Justin, you have
enforcers are-
Phaz, right?
I don't want to say overpowered, but very,
You
very,
want to play
very
Phaz
strong.
tonight at
And
like
if you use them properly,
look at that base.
then you're good to go.
8
You're right.
o'clock your time?
You see what I'm saying? Like, look at that.
Sure.
You don't really need to do anything else. Just teleport around in the
How
small
much is
teleport
DayZ?
you
Because
have.
I've always like kind of
And
wanted to
just
play
float
that game.
around the map as best
Huh?
you can. Jeff
Like
Kills throwing up
44
shields
bucks.
on his,
Oh, fuck that,
on
man.
his
That's
main
a
base.
lot more than I
Going
used
straight up Marauders.
Well, yeah, it also
There's
used
a lot
to be
more to the game
absolute
for
trash.
Now. as well after
It's like
sacking.
19
He actually,
bucks, dog.
Jeff Kills
Lot
had
of
one
different-
production building on his whole base.
Wait,
That
they've
entire
yeah,
also
Cam,
added
but
a
it
lot
also,
to it now.
That means
yeah,
one
it also
foundry,
used to
actually,
be
until
literal
just now.
bonds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you have
So-
the ability. I mean,
Like, all that
what's
shit,
Paven's
like,
leader ability
before
where
the
you
inventory system
you
shit.
increase your supplies, you increase the efficiency of your
remember.
raid camp, stuff like that.
It's
But
something
whatever
like
it's
that, yeah.
called, you have it, right?
Sometimes I
You
forget
need
Cam's
more
playing
than
on
one
PC for that long.
one sort of production building, especially if you have that. Maybe it's different if you don't, but you do. You can't be that
So,
slow in
Dave added
producing more
some
units. I
stuff
mean, look
to
at this
Faz.
massive. What do you
Yeah, I
call
saw
it?
that there was an
Elite?
update.
What do you think? Ranger
should-
heavy
Let
grunt
me go
ball?
make sure
What's
that
going on
actually
right here?
happens right now.
Yeah, it's just the
The
ball
Grunt
of
Ranger ball.
annoyance. Yep.
Just
But they've added 2 new ghost types.
they're pushing.
Oh,
Yep.
what are
Yeah.
they, like, what,
And
12?
again, look at
I don't know.
Look
but
at Jeff
it's good.
and look
it's good
at,
that there's more because
look at
that
Pat.
means
They are
add-
sitting on the
they've
wrong
also
side.
added
They
more
were not
equipment.
prepared for this.
Ah,
They're
more
just gonna walk
evidence
up to their
of
front
stuff.
door.
Yeah,
and
Pat
that
Mac's
mean,
gonna
and
lose
also in
his,
doing
shield
so,
for
they
sure. Definitely a couple
changed
buildings
what
before they get
the-
over
like,
there.
There's
So
some good
say-
drops right there.
Yep,
freezing
they're gonna have to
temps,
at least try to do a magic blast of some kind. Shields going
Pavian's
on
beam's gotta
orb
be
and
pretty accurate
fingerprints
here.
was a
If he drops
phantom.
his base, it is
Well,
over, and that base is
might
going
not
to
be that right now.
start
Now because
dropping
they've added
pretty
Those
quick.
swaps.
Like
different
Look at the
shields
orbital
to
raging
swap them
around.
to make room for.
Yeah, it was
these
just too
ghost
slow to
types and
move.
stuff.
Oh, there it is.
Um,
Ooh, what is that?
Oh,
You can
it's
now
a-
sprint
I haven't seen
the
that
hell?
one.
at a faster speed
Wait.
now too.
You just
Ooh.
dropped
So
Decimus.
the
Decimus has
sprint
arrived,
button-
baby.
Oh, that was
It
Decimus.
increased speed for like 3 seconds,
He's lost his base.
and
That
has a
is
5-second
retarded, Pat.
recharge. And the regular walking speed is what the sprint
What
speed
are your
was.
final thoughts on that?
We have officially finished it.
Makes
Wait,
sense?
so we walk even slower now?
No, you walk even faster.
I mean,
Yeah.
You walk so.
faster.
You remember the
well, the
sprint
fucking
speed?
sprint speed was literally the exact same.
It was no, it was a little bit faster, but yes, I understand.
Like, it was
No,
like
no, no, no. But that's the walking
0.2 inches
Yes,
farther
but it's the
per
walking
step.
speed now, so you don't
he's
have
very
to hold shift
surprised
down
to
unless you
even do
until you
fairly
want
well in
to
twos,
sprint
even though
away
some
from the
concepts
fucking
are
ghost.
similar, it's still a
Gotcha.
different game.
Okay.
And then
So I
all
shouldn't
in all,
just permanently
go.
hold
No.
down shift
no.
now.
But one thing's certain. Congratulations
And the ghost,
to
the
Yoda.
increased
I did.
acceleration of the
Congratu-
ghost during
I mean,
the hunt. So
congratulations
the
to
ghost moves
Amusement
faster when
Park,
it sees
right?
you.
Yoda,
What?
Jetty,
Yeah.
just absolutely.
You already
crushed
couldn't
it.
get away from that shit.
Yeah, you could.
Unless there, well, like,
Unless it was like a revenant or something. Because those
yeah,
ones move
but like a
faster
lot of
automatically.
them, like you couldn't get away unless there was more than one person because it
And
was
then
just chasing you straight down.
Let's see here. Glow sticks last 1 minute before it starts to fade out.
How's it
Oh.
going, everyone? Welcome back to another
After every
Overwatch
10
video. I hope you
seconds.
guys are having a nice day.
It
If you
just starts
enjoyed
to
the
fade
video,
out. It
make sure to
doesn't
leave
just
a like,
completely
and if
turn
you want to
off,
submit
I
your
think.
clips, link in the description. As is tomorrow.
New map
Um,
Malevento. These are the only
Replace
players that
ghostwriting
are
with more
trying the map
legible
right now.
visuals.
Oh wait, we can actually read what they say now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play
And-
Soldier.
Well, sometimes it's symbols, sometimes
Wait,
it's writing, but
strong chat.
sometimes it's not legible, really. But
I have 15 sensitivity.
let's see here.
It feels like I'm playing CS:GO. Nice card.
Just small changes.
Interesting.
See the Bigfoot
Mhm.
update?
Okay, this is inside.
Which one?
Wait, can I do
the,
this?
the two big things are now the
failed.
predators will attack
I should be able to
Bigfoot
do this.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
and more
Broken spot of
stamina for the
Malevento. How
hunters.
did level 7 get here? Okay, content
Which
has
I
been
still
done.
think
Let's
is dumb.
continue. What is this?
Yeah, I don't think stamina.
It's a jump pad!
Well, yeah, especially because stamina, like, you can
Yo!
perma,
Can I shoot
like,
the
unless they
grass?
did it to
I can't.
Bigfoot too. But like, as Bigfoot, you could
Another
perma sprint.
one. Oh my god,
Just
this
like
is
the hunters.
broken.
But like, your perma sprint was like twice as fast as they
New
were.
deathmatch map.
They
Another
added
jump pad.
the Goroyo and the Myling. So when I explained this to Kat, Kat said Oreo, so now we're calling that ghost type the Oreo.
Nice.
They added a new equipment. It's the dots projector.
Well,
So
I did my
it's a
job.
projector
coursing
of,
through me,
like,
the power.
beam dots on. If you've watched Ghost Adventures, you know what it is.
Oh, they
It,
Matrix there.
So it projects a bunch of beams of dots onto like
they have
a
shatter.
wall, like a
Wait.
projector,
Maybe close
and
to the Diva
it
Ball.
captures silhouettes.
Ego.
And be-
So you can see the silhouette of the ghost if it goes by it or something.
Just because it's
Yes,
like
we did.
light, just shining.
Yeah, it's little beams of
Oh, okay.
infrared light or some shit or whatever it is. The ghost will now hunt. So you remember when you would talk and the ghost would come to that, like come to you, like if you were hiding.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you turn off your equipment now, because the electrical equipment will alert the ghost of your position.
Really?
Yep. So if you're holding like
Wait, there you
a
go.
thermometer or whatever in your hand and it's on, yeah. Because it
Oh,
can
that
sense the
works!
electron.
Holy
Because
shit!
ghosts feed off of electronic.
Monkey's alone on the point. Kill the monkey, perhaps.
No, all.
Stay in the who, stay in the who's on us, stay in the who's so I can start
Okay,
it.
the parabolic microphone is now a useful thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh
so
my,
it's
that's
now
a
the
good
only
bait,
way to hear
Anna.
those ambient
Teammates,
footsteps.
you need to help me another room.
So you can hear where, like, if it was in an area, like on those bigger maps.
But
it
not
also,
like
and it also
to hear it
make-
while it's hunting and shit, right? Just like
actually
while
feel
it's
like-
like creeping around.
Yeah, and if it's
When I play Reinhardt,
well, while it's hunting, I mean,
I don't know.
you'll know it's
Like,
when it's hunting.
I'm not trying to boost my own ego.
Well, yeah, but
I
like
feel
I wasn't
Reinhardt
sure if it
players
was
are
just like that's the only way you could hear its footsteps, or if
I
it's
don't
like,
know. I don't know if it is while it's
Rocket
hunting.
League.
Though.
I shot at
didn't.
7.
It didn't say, but I do know that when the ambient
Jesus
footsteps.
fucking Christ,
that's
get out of
how
my
you
face.
know. Also, you'll hear paranormal sounds. I don't know what that refers to. If you'll hear like groaning or weird noises, but when you point it towards the ghost's like area or whatever.
Can you explain?
All equipment has visual and effects now, so like the light and switch or the flashlight and all that stuff look a lot better. It changed the way that they look.
Gotcha.
Lighting improvements on some maps. Also, if the ghost starts to hunt, so say we're on the farmhouse and you're like all the way upstairs, and we're like out in the kitchen, your shit might not get affected, so you might not know if it's hunting.
Okay, that's a little fucked.
It makes it hard. It makes it fun. Imagine you just come downstairs and everyone's running away from a ghost.
But everybody's still gonna be on call, so it
The
doesn't-
spirit box has been replaced with icons to show if the ghost is responding. So it'll show up like something.
instead of saying it's like little one-word shits.
Oh, fair enough.
Five hours later.
Yeah, man's voted to forfeit when it was 3-2.
The ghost will no longer be visible at the start of a hunt until it starts moving.
Until it starts what?
Moving. So right when a hunt starts, normally it would pop up a silhouette or something. Now until it starts to come after or go, yeah.
She's doing the thing. Okay, ready? We have to go in together. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Come outside.
Parabolic microphone can only be used.
Wait, do you have
inside
speed? Do you
now,
have
by the
speed?
way.
Can you amp?
You used to be able
I'm
to
just gonna
stand
assume so.
outside
3,
and
2,
point it into the
1,
windows.
Oh. Yeah, I'd never actually used that
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
it was
picked
never
it up
useful.
a few times.
It was
but,
never
like,
useful.
yeah, I never actually like took it out and used it.
No, runs one, runs one, runs one.
There were a few times where I was like, "What the fuck do I pick up?" And you're like, "Oh, take the microphone."
I can't really.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the gist of the update.
Alright, I guess.
So who are we playing with?
What? Me, you, Cat, and I don't know. We'll see. I told her she can find a fourth if she wants. Otherwise, I'll drag Chris into it.
Pieces. Chris ever played with Cat?
I don't want to talk
Yes,
about it,
a
guys.
lot.
No.
Don't ever fucking mention this in your
Wait, Cat
entire
played
life
Call of the Wild?
ever. Don't fucking
No,
mention this
Faz.
moment. Faz,
Oh, I thought you
Faz
said
finished
Call
it
of the
just
Wild.
like in real
No, I
life.
dragged Chris into it.
You don't agree
Oh
with
my
them.
God.
They don't agree with you. They have a certain idea. Some people just there's another thing, chat, okay? And this is why I always say that it's. I mean, you can react and stuff. People shouldn't act like pieces of shit towards you ever. That's not an excuse. But maybe somebody is going through something incredibly rough, and they just go like this. Oh my god, fucking Mugsy, what are you doing? Why are the damage boosting? I'm done. Piece of shit game. And then they throw themselves off the map, and then they troll. Then they do this. We all had people that did this. Maybe some of you did that,
I created a corner.
right? It happens.
Corner,
bad things
uh,
happen.
fucking,
Go next. It's
training.
Okay. It happens. Understand you, buddy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Just go next.
Just make sure you put on
Oh my-
one of the variants.
Oh my
things.
god.
Make sure you put on one of the variants
Why is
things
mine in a
whenever
small
you use
corner?
it.
What's
I
that?
would do very low, the Bacchus mod variants. Like, variants in your training, so it's not always the exact same thing. It's slightly different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
You've never touched it, it's on. And if it's on, if you've never noticed that like the shot doesn't go in the same spot, I'm a little worried for you.
I shut it off.
Oh,
I'll turn it back on.
Why? Though?
There are times when you have to shut it off, especially like with
Why
like
can't
the.
I get a normal Rocket League match, bro? God bless. I'm in
Especially
casuals and my teammate's just on the other
Look at
team.
his fucking shutter,
Literally
bro. Look
shooting
at it.
on our own net.
Oh my god.
Did you tweak the settings for your variants?
No, I just use one of the presets.
This shit's really fucking goofy and whack, bro. This is not working.
Which one did you use?
What do you mean? There's only one.
No, what? No.
Enable custom training variants.
No, quick settings. There's fucking 4 different ones.
Walk the point. Can I have a
What?
touch point?
Literally the front page of Bacchus mod.
I got it.
Quick settings.
I got.
Oh,
no,
I have to
we
go
don't
to
win
their
this fight. Stop
website?
it.
No.
This is
Oh.
not the
The
fight.
very first tab.
settings.
Quick settings.
Dude, you gotta
Oh.
be trolling.
No variants.
By a
Very low
hair.
variants.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ones just say variants.
I always
Tracer
didn't know
one,
what the
Tracer one.
fuck these had to do with. Which one do you use?
If you're gonna do corner ones, I would do very low.
How? How? That's the fight.
Because you want it to not be the exact same, but you don't want it to be fucking all over the place.
Can you just get me out of this match? Jesus Christ.
What do
Did you say you're playing casuals?
Yeah, I'm playing casuals, but you can't leave them there. You get fucking banned.
I can't believe they still have that in.
0-9, dude. It was 0-9. I was against like 2 SSL.
You can
Fuck is
leave
your
the-
unranked MMR, bro?
It's a team 30.
Huh?
Team 31. No, the man did like a double reset on it.
Oh my god!
One cannot survive eyeballs.
Thing's still fucking updating. Why does it do this all the time? It'll just sit on 100%.
I don't know. My Steam does that shit too.
Cause like I've been getting, like my game has been jittery since I started this thing, but like it's only 600 megabytes. Like it was probably done in 5 minutes.
Cam, what is Daisy Experimental?
That's their test branch.
Okay, so I don't need to install that.
Hello, I be scared of goodbyes. Me and my enemies
It's like
walk
where they
side by
pre-release
side.
updates for community
Slow down.
Y'all are gonna run into some fucking tryhards and it's gonna be funny.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where's the other team?
Justin, do you ever use your daily mix for on Spotify?
Yeah.
Dude, I hate that shit
Actually,
so much.
Dude, like it's
literally
so
all
weird.
songs with the same on my playlist.
Yeah. No, like that's the part that like I hate the most is like usually it's like half the playlist is songs that I've already liked, and I'm like, but what's the point of this? Especially like the Discover Weekly thing.
That one
is
has
a bit
new
better.
shit most of the time.
The Discover Weekly thing is a bit better, but it's like some of the songs I'm like, do people actually like listen to this enough that like it would give this to me? I legit got a fucking rap song
Whose
where the
arrow
dude
is
did
this?
the exact same fucking verse 4
My hero
times.
now, buddy.
And it was halfway through the song. I fucking got up. Like my phone was on my desk and I was laying in my bed. I literally got up just to skip the song.
I mean, we just die if we go over there, right?
And it's like, it wasn't a bad verse at all, but it's like, you don't use the same verse 4 times. That's not even chorus. That's just, cause like there wasn't even anything in between.
He's pushing me. Holy fuck.
And I just, I just wonder who let that person release that shit and said, yeah, that's fucking fire, bro.
I love when you find out an artist is not the gender you thought they were.
What?
Like, okay, sorry, let me clarify. An EDM artist.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that feeling.
I was about to say, usually the vocals.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, usually it's a pretty fucking dead giveaway.
No, like K-Flay, I didn't know it was a girl.
We didn't even get hit.
For the longest time until I saw her on TikTok. I was like, wait, what?
Because the vocals that are used in her play it, but like I don't
that are used,
like, listen to
you can't
it.
even really tell if it's a girl.
Well, they're probably also not even all her.
No, they are, because otherwise it would say featured.
Missed every bullet.
Well, not if it's a sound bite.
Come on.
No, like it's actual like singing vocals in the song.
Oh.
It's just that she uses like stuff on the vocals.
Effects.
Yeah.
We need our jump pad. And we need to not get shot by the longbow team behind us. That's a major key.
No way, what a fucking block. Ah shit, my bad.
Yeah, so I'm going fishing for lake trout, not salmon. I don't know why I thought it was salmon. But I'm going on. Justin, did I tell you this on Saturday? That Sunday I'm going fishing?
No.
So I'm going fishing at like 3 a.m. on Sunday. That's when we leave. That's when we leave to go. We have to drive all the way up north. We have to drive like
I was having a rough one.
2.5 hours roughly.
Not anywhere you're staying.
No, we're just going up there for the day.
Oh.
Yeah, man. You travel 1,000 miles for the day, you know?
It's not 1,000 miles. It's like
Probably 100. Yeah, I was about to say it's probably 100 or 200. At least.
200. We're going up to Lake Superior.
What the fuck? My arc star just tapped straight
all night so I can sleep. I'm just gonna.
I died.
How long are you guys staying out then?
No, well, we're leaving Sunday morning at 3 a.m. I'm gonna stay up all night tonight so I can go to bed at like 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah. And then.
Oh, you were just talking about like staying up all night into Sunday, and I was like, but aren't you just gonna fall asleep while you're fishing?
Yep. But I'll know Saturday if we are going or not for sure, because right now with the wind conditions, we're fine. We're only going to be dealing with like 1 to 2 foot waves max with the wind direction. But if it switches, we're looking at 5 to 6 foot waves. And we ain't not fishing in that shit.
Fine? What do you mean?
Hell no.
telling me
No
dinghy
way
can't
that
handle
guy
5 or
just
6
lived
full
like
waves?
that. I died.
We're going in
I
kayaks, my
died. I didn't
Just
die.
kidding.
Oh.
Hell no. Hell no, no. You do not go on Lake Superior in a kayak. There are big ass fucking freight ships that have sank out on that lake.
Really?
Yes, the waves. It's like an ocean. The waves are. It has its own weather system. It's literally like an ocean.
I mean, so do a lot of things, but
Yeah, there's quite a few shipwrecks out there. It gets over 1,000 feet.
Oh, the Eva! Holy. Okay. We played a little bit too many games, dude. He pulled out the gun and started busting.
yeah, we have a reservoir near where I live. That whenever you tell people like the depth of